Here it is right here. Boom. Doesn't get any better than that. We should zoom in on this quote. Read that.
All skin colors, whether light or dark, are due not to race, but in
adaptation
for
life under the sun. Right?
You want to read it again?
It doesn't get any better than that.
You're going to read
Let's
it again?
read that again.
You're going to zoom in good?
Zoom in on her.
All skin colors, whether light or dark, are due not to race, but adaptation for life under the sun.
Say that one more time so people can hear it. Say it out loud.
All skin colors, whether light or dark, are due not to race,
but to adaptation for life under the sun. We really have to understand and get in our heads that it's really just the way we adapted to the sun that makes us different.
Yeah.
Other than that, we are all exactly the same. And the fact that people pick on people or divide, or some people actually think that there are people that are less intelligent because of the color of their skin. And we see right here from a biological anthropologist that says all skin colors, whether light or dark, are due not to race, but to adaptation under the sun. So I'm glad you read that. Get that in your head. You got to program that in your head and understand that. Last week I posted a video of a student that came to my studio to apologize for being part of a controversial news story where she and some fellow students at Escondido High School had spelled out the N-word and other offensive things with their shirts. I recommended that she reach out to the Black Student Union at her school to formally apologize to them and see what she can learn from them. I also recommended that she do some more research on African American history to learn more about the word that they used and why that is offensive. And since she's had the courage to get in front of this, to apologize and be so cooperative, I invited her to the San Diego Museum of Man to check out the race exhibit with me, because I believe in second chances and allowing people to learn from their mistakes. So rather than responding with hate, I create opportunities to educate. You have to ask a question for each one. All right, what were your questions? If no one would have told Sarah that it wasn't okay, would Sarah just by herself on the playground have been willing to make a friend with Pearl 100 years ago?
Yeah.
You think she would? You don't think so? 100 years ago?
Just because there was so much segregation still then. And like I feel like she would have still noticed that.
And you don't think she would have wanted to play with her?
I think Pearl might have, but I don't think Sarah would have.
That breaks my heart.
Like I don't want to say that.
No, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like it breaks my heart knowing that you recognize that you feel like Pearl, as a black girl, the same age, wouldn't see any issue with Sarah and would want to play with her, but you feel like Sarah would not want to play
I think
with her.
I know she's still young, but I think she would have saw that like they're still separated back then.
That's sad to know that that's how the world works, right? That you've got that young girl, they're right around the same age. It's like a kid, and just wants to play, wants to make a friend. She would not be willing to because of the influence around her. And it says a lot about how we were taught, you know, as young black kids. We didn't really see people too much as our enemies, right? We just saw them as, I would like to make a friend with that person. I don't know why that person hates me. I don't know why that person wants me hung from a tree or wants me dead. But they're being taught that. And it's unfortunate. You recognize that even these kids, they're just kids. It's unfortunate. I like that there from the, I'm sure you know what that is, right? with that opening line is obviously important. All of these truths to be self-evident that all men are created. Says, what will humans look like 1,000 years from now, and will there still be lots of different colors? It says in 1,000 years, humans will still come in many colors, but in big cities where lots of people from different places live and mix, there will be even more people with in-between colors and fewer people with strikingly dark or light complexions. So just realizing that we might actually reach a point in the world, if we survive 1,000 years, because I worry about climate change, that whether we'll even get there. I think we're in trouble even 100 years from now, honestly. But this is saying that if we can even make it 1,000 years from here, that there's not really going to be extreme dark or light colored skinned people. Everyone is just going to be kind of like brown, I guess, you know, because the more that, not only as you have interracial relationships, but I think even just the way people are more exposed to the sun in similar areas, that eventually we all just kind of become kind of the same. And I know that a lot of racists are afraid of that. Yeah. Racists on both sides, right? Like, isn't that messed up? Right? What did you interpret from that?
Well, it says white performers would rub their faces with charcoal or burnt cork and sing and dance in a
character impersonations of black men. So today we call that blackface. And similar to the incident that happened with you guys writing that, there are so many other schools, even just recently, where it'll be like a group of sorority girls in college and they get in trouble because they'll dress up in blackface, they'll like get makeup or whatever, and they'll paint themselves black, and then they'll claim, oh, we're acting ghetto or we're acting like black people. So highly offensive to people, and a lot of people don't realize that. They think, I wasn't trying to be offensive. Don't do that, right? It's not right. Like, even worse, the insult of rubbing charcoal on your face and dancing around saying, look, I'm a black person, and black people having to realize that this is how we're being treated in this country. And then you have people saying, well, if you don't like it, then go back to your country. We didn't come here. You brought us here, you know? And so it says a series of laws keep free blacks from entering states where slavery is illegal. Unlike whites, free blacks are unable to take advantage of the economic opportunities in these areas. Still today, that happens. You have black people who are not able to purchase homes in certain areas. They're being discriminated against. And you'll hear about laws that are passed or people that are suing certain housing organizations or complexes because they have discriminated on certain groups of people purely because of the color of their skin, saying, we don't want you to live here. So here they were dealing with that in the mid-1800s, and still today, we're dealing with those sort of things right now. Overall, this has been a great educational experience for her, and I applaud the fact that out of all of the other students that were involved in that controversy, she's been the only one that has been courageous enough to get in front of it, put her face out there on social media for people to understand that she truly was sorry, and the steps that she's taking are genuine. She really cares to learn more about the history and the culture. I don't know if it's a lack of things that they're teaching in school, but the opportunity for her to now understand more about the struggles that other people and other racial groups and cultures have dealt with in this country, it creates a greater sense of understanding and compassion for what people are going through to prevent incidents like that taking place again. And especially for her to not only not be a part of it, but to stand up for other people that are being mistreated or treated unjustly in her school or in her community.